everybody, welcome to today's One Card Wonder Wednesday for January 9th, 2019. I've got to get used to saying 2019. I accidentally wrote the wrong date on some paperwork the other day and I was like, no. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's done that in 2019. It always happens at the beginning of the year. I'm just going to try to get my video to pull up here. Today we're going to make a card using the Meant to Be stamp set, which is one of the new stamp sets that is in the Occasions catalog. And I'm not sure what page that is on, and of course I don't have my catalog next to me now that I've started my video. So I'm just going to show you the stamp set really quick. It has some cute sentiments and it's got all the little hearts in it. It says, "Just for you, the best friend a girl could ever ask for." I love this little detailed heart here. I think it makes some cute cards and you can color those in any color that you want. It's got this little heart here that has some of those flowers in the negative. Another heart, this heart with these flowers just on the edge, I think is a real elegant one that could be used for a wedding card. It has "Meant to Be, I love our life together, happy Valentine's Day, you make me happy." This heart that is made just of flowers, and this heart that has the cute stripes in it. Hi Fran, how are you? I hope everything's going good today. This is my first time using this stamp set, so it's going to be fun to make just a simple little card. And I'm also going to use the Be Mine framelits. I'm missing one of my framelits right now. A friend of mine had to borrow one, but it's just a little bit bigger than this one. It's, you know, in between these two sizes here, so it does have one more. I'm going to use this one today. I'm going to show you this one. It's really cute when they're cut out, and I think they're adorable. So I'm just going to set those aside and get those out of the way. I'll leave the stamp set here so you can hopefully see that. Hopefully it's not too much of a glare on it. Let me maybe prop it a little bit. Maybe it won't have a glare on it if I do that so you can see it. I just want you to have an idea of what's in the stamp set if you don't already have it or have the catalog in front of you. So I've got some pieces here, and we're going to start with, just for the base of the card, I'm using Blushing Bride, and I just cut it 5.5 by 11 inches, so just down the middle of a piece of cardstock. And I have some other, I don't want to pull all my bits in at the same time here. I got lots of little pieces that are going on this card. I cut a piece of the All My Love Designer Series paper, and I wanted to do something that had this lovely lipstick color in it. And I believe you get 2 sheets of each of this. And on one side it has the stripe, and the other side it has these gorgeous flowers. But I wanted just to use the little dotted stripe. It's just little dots to make those stripes up. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not. I'll bring it just a little bit closer so maybe you can see. And I'm going to go ahead and use my adhesive as soon as I find it. 1 second. Oh no. I had company this weekend. I'm kind of yelling from across the room. Sorry, I had company this weekend. And we did a lot of card making, and my aunt was here visiting, so we had a lot of fun. But I forgot I didn't have my snail over here at the desk anymore. It was over on my table. So I just put a little bit of snail on the back of it. I just did 4 little strips. And I don't want this in the center or right on the side, but I'm just going to put it, I'm actually going to put it on this piece of paper, not directly on my card. This is another sheet of paper that I cut that is 5 1/4 by 4 inches wide. So this will be dimensional on the side. I'm going to move that stamp set now that it's kind of getting in my way. It'll be dimensional up on the paper here, but I wanted to do a same color, like color on color, a mono color. And I was trying to come up with something earlier and it just didn't turn out right. So I thought, well, add a little bit of other color in here just to give it a little bit of extra. So now I also used that the dies to cut some of these awesome little scalloped hearts that have the stitching on them. I'm going to start by putting this white one down first, and I cut that out of some of the Designer Series paper, and what I had cut, you got these little hearts out of the back, plus on the front there were some other hearts. This is not the same piece that goes in this one, but I love how this heart turned out because it just had part of that other design from the back. I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow because Tombow is really easy to use, and especially on these. Hi Chrissy, how are you? How are you feeling today? Hope things are going good. Just going to put a couple little dots on there. You don't have to put a lot of Tombow on it. Once this dries, it sticks pretty well. But I mean, you can't just do 1 dot and then expect your whole piece to stay where you want it. So I'm just gonna put it right here on an angle, just a little bit, not too much. And then I'm gonna do the same with this lovely lipstick heart that I cut out, and then I'm gonna layer it next to that other heart. Have you been making any Valentine cards lately, anyone? I honestly don't have Valentine's on my mind yet, but I'm like, I know I need to start getting some made because it's gonna sneak up just like Christmas does, and then I'm not gonna have any cards ready for anyone. And not that I don't send a lot of Valentine cards, but I'd like to make one for my husband and have a couple for younger nieces and nephews and that type of thing. So once you have those stuck down, we're gonna come back and we're gonna do the larger heart. This is the large heart that's in the Be Mine die set. So when you cut it out, you get this piece, plus you also get another heart at the same time. So it's like 2 cuts with only having to cut once. What I like about this size heart here is like these are perfect to use for kids' Valentines if you want, or just to put a little note on and stick in someone's lunchbox or put on their desk, you know, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do the same. I was going to pop dot this, and then I thought, no, I think I'll just put this flat as well. And then when we put the sentiment on, we're going to dot that up with the dimensionals a little bit. And now it doesn't matter if this heart, where this heart covers the other hearts, I just kind of tried to put it more toward the center of the card. And now, of course, I have a little bit of glue on my fingers, so I'm trying to keep it from sticking to my own fingers as I make sure it's sticking down. One thing I have done before, which works really well, is getting one of your larger blocks and just setting it on there to hold it in place so you don't have to worry about it not drying in place the way you want it, and it holds it pretty well. So the next thing I did was I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I cut it 1 inch thick, and then I cut it 4 inches long, and then I just used the triple banner punch or banner triple punch just to trim off the ends a little bit. And I want to use the best friend a girl could ever ask for as my sentiment on this stamp. So this could actually go to a best friend, this could go to your spouse. It doesn't matter. I think it's perfect for everyone. Have any of you used this stamp set yet? And what do you think of it if you've used it? Oh, I did that a little bit crooked. I'm going to do one more. That's the nice thing about the paper. You can always flip it over. And believe me, I've done that many times and it's still crooked. I think my first one was better than the second, so we'll go with the first one. I think I have my stamp on my block just a little bit crooked. I love the hearts too, Fran. I think they're adorable. I got a little bit of snail adhesive on that. Not that it's going to matter later, but I'll take it off for now. So once I got that done, I want to put some of these hearts. This is this one die I was just showing you earlier. It cuts out these awesome hearts, but then once you've cut out those hearts, you have, let me see where I've got them all in a baggie. But you have all these other awesome hearts that pop out of it. Now this was several, I cut several of these. This is not just one. But you have all these other little hearts that you can use. So we're going to incorporate some of those into the card as well. But what I did with this is I just cut out a small portion of it to use for the card. This is this little piece right here. So I cut these 3 off the end, and then I cut this section off. And those can still be used for another card. But I just wanted just a little, you know, a few little hearts just to stick on this. And we're going to use the Tombow again for that. And I had this upside down because I wanted to make sure the glue was at the tip of it and good for when we did this. And it's kind of hard to get because these are really, really thin. So you've got to just barely squeeze a little bit of glue out. You might have a little that will leak out onto the white paper, but you're not going to notice that too much. I'm just going to set it right here, and I'm going to just carefully lay it down. And now that I've got it down, I'm going to move this block just onto this for just a minute, just to hold it there in place. And like I said, a little bit of glue might squish out, but it's not going to be noticeable once it's dry because we hardly put any on there. So for the other part of this card, I want to take some of those extra hearts that we have, and I put those on dimensionals. So I'm just going to move this over here just so we can add these extra little hearts. And I just did these in the because I cut this also in the Blushing Bride. Obviously these are going to be in Blushing Bride. Now I think it would be adorable if you had this on a, you know, not this card necessarily, but another card, and you cut some of these out with white. You could add them in however you wanted. I'm glad you've used it, Fran. I love it too. I think it's a great set. I think it's very versatile. I think I'm just going to put these, because it could be used for something other than just Valentine's Day, just to say I love you, I miss you, I'm thinking about you. So I like always thinking using a stamp set for more than its original purpose, I think is always something that you need to think about when you're buying a stamp set too. I try to buy stamp sets that I can use for more than one thing. And that's what I think is great about this, because I think it could be used to make a pretty Mother's Day card if you used some other spring colors with it and maybe added some flowers in here and there. So I'm just going to randomly put these little hearts around the card. I'm trying to get that one to stick to the paper there, and it doesn't want to. And maybe we'll just put one over here, because we're going to have these little hearts that are going to be on this side. And so now that that's stuck on there, see how pretty that looks once it's glued on there? You can't even see that some of that glue squished out, just a little bit, not a lot, because we didn't have much on there to start with. And of course, you see, I make a mistake. I do it all the time. Don't worry about making mistakes while you're crafting, because mistakes are how you learn. And some people even say mistakes when you're crafting aren't mistakes. They're just extra little personality that you're bringing to your card. But since we flipped ours over, it's just a mistake. It's not extra personality. I'm going to go ahead and put the dimensionals on here and peel off the backs of that paper that's on there. We're going to stick that onto the front of this. And I don't want to cover up the bottom of my heart here too much, so I'm just going to kind of bring it closer down to the bottom so you have all of that. And now I'm going to flip that over real quick, and I've got some pieces here of my dimensionals. That's the end of it, and I'm just going to put one piece on each end. I always like to use those edges, because there's no point in wasting them. That's money you just throw it away if you throw it away. And I'm just going to put a strip on each side as well. Peel the backs off those, get this put on the front of the card, and then we're going to stamp a little bit on the inside of the card. Just a couple little things. My upline, Lisa Marie, she said this is the year of no naked insides of your cards, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to stick with that, because I tend to not put anything on the inside of my cards unless it's a sentiment, and I'm kind of liking when I'm opening up some of these cards that I've made that they have something else inside, you know, so it's not just blank. So now that we've got that, we're just going to go ahead and put that on the front. And just giving it that little bit of dimension, even though it's the same color as the base of the card, still makes it pop just a little bit. So on the inside, we're going to do a couple of these hearts, the heart that has the stripe on it and this little heart with the flower pattern in it. And so we're going to use some lovely lipstick for that, and I haven't stamped with these stamps yet, so I'm going to stamp with, I'm going to make sure they have enough ink on them. I'm sure that one looks pretty good. So I'm just going to put the little heart right here in the corner of the bottom. Oh, that turned out cute. I love stamping, and especially when I've tried using a new stamp and it's something different that I haven't used before. And so then we've got those cute little hearts on the bottom, and I think I might put some on at the top as well. I love the way that little heart has stamped, where you've got that, the negative part is what's showing through. Just put 2 up there. And then you can write your sentiment in the card, and it's just something extra added to the inside. So I hope you enjoyed today's One Card Wonder Wednesday, and I hope to see you next Wednesday for another card. I haven't planned it yet because I don't think that far ahead. So I hope you have a great day, and hopefully I will see you on here watching next week. Take care. Bye.